Okay, everybody, and just give me a sec to get back into the engine, and just wanted to show you that I'm slowly getting back into this engine, but it's got, for every one thing they fix, there's 15 other things that get broken that weren't broken before, and I mean, I've been at this engine since 4 point, I think, what, 1.8, and which is quite a few years, and you could migrate assets from the same version to of a end project to another with no issues ever. Okay. Now, the issue I had was, okay, so I go to copy from the same version of the engine, 5.2, files over into this project, okay? And it kept running out of video memory. That would be like going to your Windows PC, going into a directory, copying, hitting, or clicking on a file, pressing Control, clicking on a second file, copying, and then going to another directory on the same computer and clicking Paste, and it puts one file down, and then a message pops up and says out of video memory, and it doesn't do the second file. There is something really broken the way they're doing video and in the background while you do things. That should not ever be an issue when you migrate files. Ever. Unless, like, if there's a conversion you need to do, that's math. Computers are really good at math, apparently. And so therefore it should go wee and done, right? You should not be getting it out of video memory. So what I had to do was go in the original project, go to a blank or the least map with the least stuff on it, and then keep doing this, okay? And just to give you an idea of if it happens to you, go back into your project that you want to migrate stuff from, go to the content, right click, and migrate, go back to the project you want to, go into its content directory, click OK, and when it pops up and says, do you want to overwrite these files, click the apply to all and click no, and what it will do is it'll start from the very last file that it was successful at doing and continue on. You may have to do this several times, and we'll just use a quote from Stargate, General Jack O'Neill. The saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again, comes to mind, okay? And it will eventually work. And one of the things I was having a problem with, I forgot that I had this pack in with the other pack, and it had an issue copying them all over. So what I'm thinking it's doing is it's trying to load into memory all the file names or something for some reason, and it's so much memory that it runs out. Like, okay, when you get close to, say, 90, this is how I would do it in code. I would get to 90% of memory and say, or 95% of memory, and say, okay, we do what we can from where we started from, and when that's done, you have a variable that leaves where that file was, and then you start from there and you continue the next batch of files that you'll copy. So you might have several iterations of that. That's not hard to code in C++, okay? Just saying, you know, if I have to actually one day get into the engine and start making fixes for myself, I'm gonna have to start doing this, because this is just, some of this stuff is just, it's bad. This is just, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for a migration from the same version of the engine to another version of the engine where I'm getting an out of video memory error. It just should not be happening, okay? Don't give me this shit, okay? I mean, you play around with the same stuff in a lesser version, and you don't have problems. Well, anyway, we'll just do a quick test to show you that this works too. And there we go. Right? And I'll just give a little plug for the guy that did this. Now, when he first did this, there wasn't a way to load another map. And what I did was, in the level blueprint, okay, I had load the wormhole little video. And you create that by putting somewhere hidden on your map another little thing that had the little wormhole and set up with a camera, and it takes a little mini video, and then once it's done in the project, it's saved in there, so then it can just call it up, right? And you do that for every map, right, that you go into. So that's why when you see those maps that I've done, the very first thing that loads is that wormhole thing, right? Now there's other ways that you could go about doing that, but it's an interesting way to give a little bit of time for the map to load in and everything else. It's other games do similar stuff to do that, right? Look at that. We have reflections. Woo. Yay. Okay, so more to come. Just sort of realized that the resolution on OBS was far higher than it should have been, and yeah, and I gotta get something to eat. Anyway, there is a multiplayer version of this that you can do. I've got other assets that I may test out and do different things, but then the issue comes that I gotta actually add in code to do the level loading, because the other guy's thing was only inside the map, which was like this again, and there was more work. Okay. The idea of doing this is, let's say you're doing a cinematic episodical animation thing where characters go and they do a little story in each map. So they go through the gate, right? Each week, kind of, as you might say, you could all you'd have to do is change the code, like a little drop down box, like of the name of the map, and then you could just add another map, so you eventually could just do it that way, and then you have them come back. You just change the other one on there to come back to this way, and that's how they come back, etc. If you need some other extra different places to go on that thing, you just change it. I mean, it's simple dimple, right? Once you get your brain into this again, it takes me a few days I was just not doing anything for a while. It's like a guitar player. If you stop playing guitar for a while, you start forgetting things. You got to keep using it, right? Same thing. Anyway, okay. That is that.